Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of the broadcast where we give you bite-sized bits of best practices designed to help you be a better leader and a more effective communicator. I'm your host, Gerard Braud. Each week on the broadcast, we ask a discussion question online. This week, we ask this question: does the CEO need to be the spokesperson each time in a crisis? Consistency. Does the CEO need to be a spokesperson each time in a crisis? It's interesting because many CEOs think they should be, but here are what some of your professional colleagues said. Robert says definitely not, unless the company is run by a big ego, and he suggests like Donald Trump, and he says others in the company should share the voice. Isaac says nope. The message needs to remain consistent, but the spokesperson doesn't have to. Robin says, Jared, no, she doesn't think it always needs to be the CEO. She believes that having a clear core message and, depending on the situation, a clear key message tree is something that will help you achieve effective communications with various spokespeople throughout the crisis. Wanda says it depends on who's delivering the message. She says in a crisis where there are confirmed facts, the CEO needs to be engaged, have some ownership, and provide a degree of honesty in the matter. And Linda goes on to say that she hopes it doesn't have to be the CEO every time. She says a subject matter expert should be media trained and ready to go. Good observations, folks. Here are the rules that I teach in my crisis communications and media relations classes. In a breaking crisis, when information is still being gathered, I prefer to send the public relations person out first with something that I call the first critical statement. It says very little on the way of details, but it says very much in the way of saying something's going on, we're on top of it, we're gathering information. If you don't have a document called the first critical statement in your crisis communications plan, email me and I will get one to you. It is vital that you have a first critical statement that says essentially we can confirm that blank has happened at this time, in this place, in this location, give information about injuries, information about fatalities, and then say we will provide more information for you as soon as possible. In the meantime, bear with us. And I'd like the PR person to do that because the subject matter experts and the higher ranking executives in that first hour of the crisis should be in the war room managing the crisis, not managing the media. That is why you hire and train a public relations spokesperson. Now, in the second hour, when more details are known, if a subject matter expert is available, I will send the subject matter expert out to be the expert and provide factual information. If the crisis goes on for several news cycles and several sets of news conferences, at the end of the event or toward the end of the first day, that is when I would roll out the face of the CEO to be the spokesperson. Especially if there are confirmed injuries or fatalities, the CEO can provide empathy. The big hazard of putting a CEO out for every crisis is little crises take on a bigger perceived trauma, if you will, because the weight of the CEO is placed on a smaller event. Don't put too much weight on a smaller event. You can actually downplay it by using a subject matter expert or a public relations expert. I hope these observations are helpful to you. Thanks for your observations and your comments on the broadcast. We hope you're subscribing here on the broadcast YouTube channel. We'll be back next week with another question. For the broadcast, I'm Gerard Braud.